So on Sundays, we've been talking about the various aspects of tefillah and sort of working our way through the siddur from the beginning on. So we're up to Birchas HaTorah, to the blessings that are made on the Torah before one can learn Torah, really. So in Sim Mem Zayin, the Shulchan Aruch begins with the first sif. Birchas HaTorah tzarich lizar b'mod. A person has to be very, very careful with it. He brings down the Mishnah Brura here that the Shagas Aryeh, based on the Ramban and the Chinuch and the Rashba, seems to imply the Birchas HaTorah, the blessings on the Torah, are a doraisa, that they are a Torah level obligation, which is really wild because almost all brachas, let's say benching is not, right? But almost all brachas are derabanan, only rabbinic. So brings up the question: what if you're not sure? Right? It's a suffix. I'm not sure. Did I say Birchas HaTorah in the morning or not? Normally, I come, I say it, whatever. I got out of my routine. Something happened. I don't know, but I'm not sure. Did I say the brachos or not? So general rule with brachos is suffix brachos lahakel. If we're doubtful about brachos, so we're lenient. We don't say them again. We don't repeat. We don't take Shem Hashem for no reason. We don't say God's name for no reason. But we say general brachos are only rabbinic, and suffix d'Rabbanan the kula is similar to the suffix brachos lahakel sort of rule. It fits in with that rule. So therefore, we generally don't make brachos again. But here, maybe if it's a Torah level bracha, so maybe you would have to make it again. However, many Levush, Mar Mordechai, others, many said no, that we pass on like the Rambam, who says that it's only D'Rabbanan, and therefore you shouldn't do that. Nonetheless, since you have all of these opinions that it's so strict, you want to try to do whatever is in your power to make sure that you don't miss this bracha. So if you're not sure, did I say it or not say it? The Shagasari says you really would have to do it. He says, but even according to that opinion, you'd only make one of them. I mean, we have 3 Birchas HaTorah that come in the morning, but since Baruch Harbana would be enough, you would just say that one. But let's say, assuming that we're, Mishnah Berurah is a little bit mesupik how to deal with it, but it would seem like the maskana that the most poskim seem to agree that we're not going to make the bracha over again. But there are other possibilities. So you want to try to take advantage of one of those other possibilities. One possibility is the bracha of Avarabba, the bracha like the second Birchas Kriya Shema in the morning contains in it passages that deal with the love and appreciation for Torah, and therefore, according to many, you can fulfill your chiyuv for Birchas HaTorah with that bracha. Now, do you have to have in mind? Is it only meaning post facto? If you already said Avarabba, does that count? That's a little bit questionable. But if you certainly, almost everybody agrees that if you have in mind when you get up to Avarabba, this is counting as my Birchas HaTorah. Maybe I forgot to say it, so this is going to count as my Birchas HaTorah. So that would work. Another. Let's say it's already you passed that point already. So what should you do? Get an aliyah, right? Go bother the gabbai, right? And say, look, I'd like to get an aliyah today, because then I can say Asher Baruch Harbana when I get my aliyah, so then I'll be able to do my Birchas Torah. The other possibility is get somebody else to say it on your behalf. Find somebody who's coming to shul late, right? And get them to make the bracha, and you answer amen, and then you can have that in mind, and that hopefully should work as well. So any of those possibilities would help a person do this. Nonetheless, it would seem that the halacha is, even if you're by yourself and you can't get it done, you can't get another bracha made, still you wouldn't not learn Torah based on this suffix, based on this doubt, that you could go ahead and you could learn Torah even if you're not sure if you said it or not. Now, the Mishnah Berurah goes on when it says we have to be very careful with this bracha. It says that a person shouldn't learn until they make the bracha, but then also that they should make this bracha with a simcha gedola, with a tremendous happiness and joy. So we should really, when you say the bracha in the morning, there's so many things going on in the morning, and a person's half awake, and you're saying, rushing through all the stuff that's in the front there, to try to stop and say the Birchas HaTorah with special love and joy, appreciation that God gave us this Torah, and we get a chance to learn this Torah, and do it with, especially in light of the fact that the Chazal say that the reason why the Bayis Rishon was destroyed was because they were not saying Birchas HaTorah properly, with the proper intentions. To understand what that meant exactly. But so much so serious that that it makes the point of saying that. So we have to make sure that when we make the bracha, is that the point there was that they were treating the Torah like it was any other chachma. I learned some of this, I learned some language, I learned some science, I learned all different types of literature, and the Torah is also great literature. It's really interesting, whatever. Instead of learning it that this is sacred text that God gave to us and commanded us through it, and all of the machshavos, all the thoughts that a person's supposed to have when they appreciate this incredible gift that God has given to us. You have to do it with simcha. It's a good thing in the morning anyway to wake up and to be b'simcha. It's a good way to start the morning.